Welcome back to Shadow Rift First Edition. Let's continue. So picking up cards first. 2, 3, 4, 5 cards. And what do we have? We have a might, a heroism, a prowess, a heroism, and a strike. So that's going to be 3 more card draws. So heroism, still 3 card draws. Prowess, 2 card draws. Prowess, and a strike. So a big hand this time. And player 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And let's have a look here. We have a might, a seal, a prowess, a seal, and a might. So that's going to be 2 card draws. Prowess and prowess. Okay, not too bad. And that's our drawing of cards. Now it is time to see what is going to come out for the town. 2, 3, 4, 5 for townsfolk. And let's see what we get this time. We have the stonemason. Walls cost 2 gold less. We have the merchant, which is going to give us a coin. We have the smith, which gives us pay a gold, get +1 damage on an attack. The vagrant, we have to pay a gold to get rid of him, or he just hangs around town. And the witch, giving us a magic. So that's excellent. Now, of course, we have the travelers. And let's see which 2 we're going to get. Visitors, we have the sage. Take a spell without paying it, put it in the discard pile. And that's going to cost 5 and 2. And the backstabber. Okay, backstabber goes into our discard pile for the town immediately. Alright, so very quickly, that was refreshing the town, refreshing the travelers, and now it is time to go over to Monsters in Play Act. Alright, and it is time for the monsters to act. So the ghoul has 2 damage of 7 hit points, and it's going to move to spot number 1. And when it moves to spot number 1, it says, kill a guard, add a zombie if a guard dies. Well, we don't have any guards in town right now, so we're going to have to hunt. And so we take the first card off the top. It's the child. Well, the child is going to die. So the child gets killed. And because it was the child getting killed, we put that in the bottom of the traveler deck now. We do not add a guard because it says add a zombie if a guard dies. Well, the guard didn't die. It went hunting. It killed the child. So nasty ghoul eating the child. Okay, that's the end of the child. But we can get him back, of course, later on if we buy him and if he's a traveler. All right, that was Monsters in Play Act. Monsters gain power. Well, monsters have no power at the moment because we had, I think, the priest the last time. So they are going to gain 2 power. 2 is not enough to bring out the zombie lord, which is 6 power. And that is going to be that. So we're going to go and we're going to have our heroes act. All right, this time we're going to start with player 1. And player 1 is going to use strike. And he's going to use 2 prowess to power up to make it a ranged attack. So that's going to be 1 hit on the ghoul. Then he's going to use the other strike, which is, again, these are quick actions, so you can do multiples. And he's going to spend 2 prowess to make it a ranged hit. So that's 2 hits on the ghoul, and we're going to spend 1 gold here from our heroism card to use the smith. It says spend a gold when attacking for +1 hit. That's going to leave us these 2. So to keep this all organized, that's going to do 3 hits to the ghoul, and we're going to have 2 heroism cards left. So that's 3 hits. The ghoul's going to go from 2 damage up to 5. Not enough to kill it. Still has 2 hit points left. And now we're going to take 1 of these gold off 1 heroism, and we're going to spend it to remove the vagrant from town. So he goes back to the bottom of the traveler deck, and we have 1 of these left. What are we going to do with that? Not much. So he used everything he could use. This is just going to go away. Heroism, unable to use it. Now we're going to go over to player 2. Player 2 has 2 seal cards, and unfortunately we can't use the abilities because it says you may put the card from the monster power area in the bottom of the monster. Well, we don't have any. There's no Shadow Rift out to seal, so these cards are of no use. So we're just going to ditch them, which means the witch is no use because the witch gives us magic. But we're going to use the merchant. So player 2 uses the merchant. That is making a coin come out. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 2 coins is what we're going to spend here. And we're going to recruit the sage. So the sage now becomes part of our town. And that's going to very rapidly conclude the first turn of this episode. So I'll just refresh all the decks again, and we're going to go into another turn. Alright, all decks are reshuffled as they needed to be, and let's begin. So player 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards. And let's see what we have. We have Thieving Strike, Resurrect, Explore, Prowess, and Might. So we only get one extra card, which is another strike. Okay. And player 2, going to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, of course. Player 2, and the 5 cards. Player 2 gets Heroism, Prowess, Might, Prowess, Fireball. So that's going to be 2 extra draws, a strike, 1 extra draw, Heroism, which prompts another draw, Heroism, which prompts another draw, a seal. Alright, pretty good draws. Back to the town. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Who is in our town this turn? We have a guard. Okay, guards are good. We have the baker. We have another guard. We have the farmer, giving someone a prowess. And we have the master at arms. And now it is travelers' time. The first traveler, the bard. It's pretty good. And the second traveler is the robber. Okay, the robber then immediately goes into our discard for the town. So I'm doing the turns quicker. Hope I'm not making mistakes. So I was basically drawing cards, refreshing the town, refreshing the travelers. Now we go over to Monsters in Play Act. Alright, we have one monster, the Ghoul, with 5 hit points of damage out of 7. It's going to move to Section 2, and Part 2 just says Activate Powers. Well, luckily for us this turn, there are no powers to activate, so not much is going to happen. And now it's time for monsters to gain power. They're going to gain 2 more, going to 4. 4 is not enough to bring out the Zombie Lord, which takes 6 power to bring him out. So we're not going to add any new monsters. All right, let's go and do our heroes activations. All right, so we're going to start again with player 2. Player 2 is going to use his 1 action here to cast a fireball. Just a straight fireball, and that's going to be 1 hit. 1 hit, and so he's going to use the fireball. So now the ghoul goes from 5 hit points of damage to 6, 1 more damage, and the ghoul will be killed. And I think we're going to save all of this stuff because I have a plan. So player 1 then is going to use the strike quick action with the 2 prowess to make it range, so we won't take a damage. That's going to do 1 more hit to the ghoul. The ghoul is killed, 7 hit points of damage total. The ghoul is worth 2 heroism cards because it has 2 symbols here. It will go to the bottom of the monster deck. And 2 heroism cards, starting with player 2. So player 2 gets a heroism card in this discard. Player 1 going to get a heroism card in the discard. All right. So we had 1 action played by hero 2, and we haven't played an action yet. We played a quick action. So we're going to use Explore. The top card of the Traveler deck, you can put it in the bottom. We'll do that. But we're also going to spend 1 gold. We're going to put the top card of the monster deck on the bottom. And so how we're going to do that is, of course, we have a coin here. So we're going to spend the 1 coin. So we get to look at the top card of the Traveler deck. It is the Heretic. The Heretic can go away. We will stick him to the bottom. So that's what we can do. We can also take the Zombie Lord here, and we can put him to the bottom of the monster deck, getting rid of him. And that, I think, that's our action. So we can't do Resurrect and we can't do Thieving Strike because those are both actions as well. And what do we have here? Each hero can remove a wound from hand. Well, we can't. So basically, player 1 is not going to use one of the townsfolk. Player 2, however, is going to. He's going to use the farmer here for 1 prowess. So let's just remember that. So with 1 prowess, it's going to have 1, 2, 3 gold. 3 gold and 1, 2, 3, 4 prowess. So 3 gold And 4 prowess gets us the Bard. The Bard then goes into our town. And that gets discarded. That is the end of the turn. And because everything again has gone so very quickly, let's get everything redecked and reshuffled. And let's do another turn. All right, let's continue on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards. And we have Heroism and Thieving Strike. Heroism, Heroism, Heroism. Wow. And yes, they were shuffled. So that's going to be 4 extra draws. We still have 4 extra draws. 1 draw. 3 extra draws. A Might. We still have 3 extra draws. Resurrect. We have 2 draws. A Might. We still have 2 draws. A Prowess. We have 1 draw left. A Might. 1 draw left. A Prowess. So... wow, you can see how things get absolutely piled up as you get Heroism and Might cards in your hand. Okay, let's do player 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards. And do we get as lucky here? Fireball, Heroism, Prowess, Prowess, Heroism. So just 2 extra draws. 1 extra draw, Seal. All right, things looking pretty darn good. Now let's refresh our town. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. See what we get for the town. We have a corpse. Not good. We have the mayor. Someone can do 2 actions. We have a corpse. Yeah, the corpses are piling up. We have a corpse. Whoa. Yikes. And we have a guard. So we have the mayor, 3 corpses, and the guard. And if you ever have in the town no town-villagers or traveling town-villagers, if it was all corpses and infiltrators, you're going to lose the game. So that's getting a little dicey. All right, that was refreshing the town. Let's see what we get for travelers. We get the Gravedigger. Looks like we're going to need him with all these corpses. And we get the child back, so we can buy the child back. And yeah, our traveling deck is getting extremely small. We basically have everyone in town, so we've been doing well that way. Okay, that's refreshing the town and refreshing travelers. Let's go to Monsters in Play Act. And we have no monsters in play to act. So now we're going to add power. We're going to go from 4 to 6 power. We're going to start piling up the monsters. First one we get is the Self-Stitched Fiend. Costs 4 power to bring him out. So that's going to knock us down to 2 power. And we keep going. And we have our second Shadow Rift, and I think that might be the game winner for us. That goes immediately into the power area, and we keep going. And we have a 3 power Body Snatcher, so we only have 2 power left, not enough to bring out the Body Snatcher. That is going to conclude our adding new monsters. So let's have our Heroes Act. I think we just may have finished the game. All right, and with all these piles of cards, let's not drag it out. So player 2 has got the Seal card and Heroism with magic on it and a Fireball with magic and all kinds of stuff. So let's just go ahead. We're going to play the Fireball as a magic. So we're going to play 1 magic, and we have the Seal card. And if you play the Seal card here, you may put a card from the monster power area on the bottom of the monster deck. Well, I don't want to, because the only card in the power area is the Shadow Rift. However, we paid the Fireball as a magic, and it says seal a Shadow Rift. The party earns Heroism. We seal the Shadow Rift. That is the second Shadow Rift, and that's the second. That's the only 2 we have in the game, and we've just defeated the Shadow Rift. And I don't know, I had a really easy, breezy kind of time here. A lot of times you just get smacked down in this game. And so basically that's it. We won. We won by closing the Shadow Rifts, which I think is generally the easier way to go. But like I said, I did seem to have a pretty easy time of it. Maybe the Necromancers are not quite the toughest faction in the game. I think there's demons and there's ice monsters and dragons and drow, dark elves, and I forget the last one. Can I see it there? Demons, drow. Nah. Anyway, there's 6 different factions to fight against. And it's kind of an interesting deck builder where you have the town and you have some travelers and you get these draw more cards and some funky abilities you can get. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed it. This is Shadow Rift. This was the first edition. It is basically February 2017, and I believe the Shadow Rift second edition is out already. I think it's probably in stores you can buy it. So I believe it's very similar in mechanics to the first edition. I don't think there are really any changes to speak of. So if you watch this playthrough, then you should have a really good idea of how to play the second edition. I think they improved artwork and changed the cards, and I don't know all the details, but it's very, very similar to this. So anyway, thanks so much for watching along. Thanks for subscribing to my channel if you do. Thanks for liking my videos with a thumbs up. I really appreciate it if you do that as well. So yeah, I don't know what's coming up next. I never do. So join me in a little while for another complete cardboard or dice game playthrough. I go from beginning to end, no matter how long it takes. I know this one seemed to go on for a while, and I did not seem to have too much difficulty winning the game, but you can get in bad trouble in this game pretty quickly, so we did pretty well. So thanks for watching along. Join me next time for another complete playthrough series.